Hey everybody, it's me, Eric. Hey, today I want to go over some winterization tips. It's middle of October here in eastern Pennsylvania. I don't know where you might be watching this from, but anyway, it's getting cold. Tonight they're talking 35 degrees, wind chill of about 25. So it's time to think about, hey, winterizing your ride. You might even be thinking about putting it away for the winter. So I just want to give a few tips of what I do. May not be for everybody. Everybody, might be storing car different. For me, I don't have a garage. If you look around here, I have an 8 by 24 foot trailer that I'm storing my race car in. So that being said, it presents a different set of challenges as far as how to store it, how to make sure that your ride's okay, and that when you come out in the spring, it's going to be decent, ready to run. Let's get off with it right away. First thing I'm going to talk about is tires. If you have a garage, I would highly recommend jacking the car up, putting the jack stands on the frame, okay? And let your suspension hang loose. The reason I say that is it takes the load off your ball joints, the load off your springs, all your suspension pieces that wear will be at rest, if you will, because there's no load on those pieces. And then, I will obviously jack stands for safety reasons, and plus it's sturdier. Also, your fuel. For me, I'm storing a race car. I run race fuel. So the shelf life of race fuel, I found out was actually, I was told by my Sunoco rep, is 2 years. So basically I can leave it in the tank for 2 years and it's good. And that's great, for me. But the normal guy out there, let's say you're running a street rod, you have your street car, you're running pump gas, and it's got that ethanol crap in it, and that's no good. And it separates, I was told within 4 to 6 weeks it starts breaking down. And depending how long the winter is or how long you plan on storing your car, that's not so good. So I highly recommend, if you're going to be storing a car with pump gas, I would fill it. Because if you fill your gas tank to the top, it doesn't allow room for condensation to build, okay? And condensation obviously is not good, because I remember back in the 70s, water in the gas, that would get in the carburetor and cause all kinds of havoc in the motor, and the car wouldn't run. And spend many times on the side of the road while my parents were figuring out what the heck's going on. They had dry gas. Anyway, enough said about that. If you're going to store pump gas, please, use stable. That will keep the fuel from separating. And in the spring, when you come out to your garage to fire up your baby, she should fire up. Okay. I'm going to share another option. Let me see if I can flip here. If it lets me flip, it probably won't. It won't. Of course not. Okay. Let me talk to you about guys who have race cars and trailers. Okay. And you don't have a garage like myself. What you might want to do, let me flip the phone around and I'll show you what I did. I don't know if you can see there's those green pads underneath the tires, underneath my rear slicks and my front skinnies. You can use carpet, you can use padding, use something soft on top of a piece of plywood. Why would you do that? I'm going to explain. Basically, when your car sits, okay, it's sitting in one spot if it's on the ground, obviously, unless it's up on jack stands, which I covered earlier in this video. But what you want to do is that tire will literally, from sitting in one spot, will actually get flat. The cords inside the tire will begin to get a memory, if you will, and could possibly lead to problems in the spring. So what I like to do is I like to cut a piece of plywood the size of your contact patch, a little bigger obviously, and put a piece of carpet under there, that or possibly padding or some kind of cushion under there. So that way what it does is the tire the thicker you make that, the more apt it is that that tire is going to stay round, how it should. The carpet, padding, plywood is going to absorb that weight, and that's going to dent, not the tire. So you want your tires to last. You want your tires to be round. Please do that. Use carpet. If you got to cruise the neighborhood on garbage night, or you want to go to Home Depot, whatever you want to do, please, please, please cut squares. It's relatively inexpensive, and it'll save your tires. So, okay. So at this point, we got the tires covered. We have your suspension. We got your fuel covered, okay? The next thing would be, if you want to go that route, you can get pie plates. They have tin pie plates, Walmart, CVS, Giant Food, any place that's a food store. Get some tin pie plates. Then also what you can do is you can get charcoal, you know, for your barbecue, for like a fish. If you have an aquarium, that charcoal would probably work even better. And the reason for this is charcoal absorbs moisture, okay? And one thing I used to do, and I really have gotten away from it, and I should start doing it again, is putting a pie plate with charcoal in the interior of your car, so it absorbs that moisture and helps stuff from rusting. Also could put it in the trunk, in where, you know, some people have tools and stuff back there. Put it in your trunk, put it in your interior. That's going to help absorb the moisture, and also absorb any kind of like funky smells or anything like that you would get from the car sitting. Also, last but not least, I'm in the middle of it here. Let me see if I can show you the radiator here, okay? The reason I'm showing that is for drag racing, we're not allowed to run antifreeze on the track. We have to run pure water. So that way if something goes awry and we spray the track down, it's water. Because antifreeze is oily, sticky, icky, a real pain for track officials to clean up. So they mandate that we run water. That's great until now, okay? Because water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. We know that. Everybody knows that. And with tonight, it's going to get down to 25 with the wind chill. Might be taking a chance. So what I did was I drained the radiator, okay? Now there's still water in the block, okay? Unless I would take a freeze out plug out or something, which I'm not going to do because I just don't have the space or the time or the ability to do that right now. So you drain the radiator, okay? Go to an auto parts store, Walmart, wherever you want to go. Get yourself full strength antifreeze, please. Do not get the 50-50 because it will freeze, okay? Get full strength antifreeze, okay? Because you already have water in the block that didn't come out when you drained it. So you still have that to dilute it, okay? Get yourself straight antifreeze. Put it in your radiator. It's going to be probably about a gallon, give or take. But I would guesstimate a gallon, okay? So do that. Put the antifreeze in there, okay? And then run your car, okay? Okay, why run the car? Okay, I'm going to tell you. You want that to mix, okay? Because if the antifreeze is in a radiator and you have water in your block, it's separated. So where you want the protection is really in your engine block. Because if that freezes, pops out a freeze out plug, cracks a block, cracks something with your head gasket, now you got big problems. So, run the car after you put the antifreeze in, okay? And that way that mixes everything up and you should be good. Usually 50-50 mix, which is like a gallon of water, gallon of antifreeze, you're usually good to like minus 30, minus 20, something like that. You should be good, okay? So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to, with the hot rod here, I'm going to put antifreeze in here. And then, because I have an electric water pump, I'm going to turn the switch on, run the electric water pump to mix it up. Now, anybody who's into LT1 stuff, let me give you a little pointer. I don't know if you're going to see it here. Look where my finger is, okay? There's a bleeder screw, okay? Do yourself a favor. Get yourself a straight screwdriver, flat screwdriver, whatever you prefer to call it. Open that up. It's a bleeder. It's there for a reason, okay? It's to let air out. Now, open that up and then put the antifreeze into your radiator. When it gets near full, you're going to hear it start hissing. When you see it bubbling out, that there's actually a port in there. When you see a liquid actually coming out, close it up. Okay? Now, guys with older small blocks and other motors that don't have these bleeders, as you're filling the radiator, take your hand and squeeze your lower radiator hose. That helps burp it, if you will, for lack of a better term, to get that air out. You want to get that air out because an air pocket is not good, because what it'll do is it will not allow, you'll have an air bubble. So you won't have as much antifreeze in there, possibly not as much strength of antifreeze in there, and that could lead to a problem. So those 2 pointers for that. Guys, you know, for the older small blocks, squeeze the bottom hose. It'll help burp it out. LT1, open up the that bleeder screw on top of your thermostat housing. Okay, that'll help with that. And that's pretty much all I have for right now. I mean, if you want to, if you have a race car and you're storing it for the winter and it's going to be a while, you could go as far as if you want to back off the nuts on your rocker arms. Personally, that's a lot of work. What I prefer to do is come out every 2 to 3 weeks, and I'll fire her up, let her run, let it get to operating, let her get some heat, operating temperature, and then shut her off. Okay, because chances are when you shut the motor off, it's not going to be at the same rotation it was when you started it. So it kind of rotates your valve springs around, so you don't get weak valve springs after a while. So yeah, that's what I'm going to try and get done today. I want to get this antifreeze in before tonight. I got to get to bed. Working third shift is a real pain. But anyway, so I'm going to get this done, get this antifreeze in, mix it up with the water pump, and I'm pretty sure I'm done then at that point. And thanks for watching. I hope that this video will be helpful. And if it has been, let me know. All right? You guys have a great day and take care. Bye-bye.